Hi, if you love botanicals, then you'll know just how tricky curling and folding leaves can be, but it doesn't have to be. I'll be sharing a special technique with you today, especially designed for those V-shaped leaves, and that's why I call it the Vee method. Stick around and we'll curl and fold leaves all at the same time. Once you know how to do it, you don't need any leaf as a reference, you can just go for it. This will take your botanicals to a whole new level. So grab yourself some paper, a pencil, and also a coloured pencil that will help us with the V's, and let's get started. The V method allows us to plan our leaf. We can determine how widely it's open or how tightly it's folded by the little V shape that the two blades create. So here is the principle. Every leaf has a border and a center line. The border is one continuous line, and it remains one continuous line no matter what the leaf chooses to do. Sometimes you can see it and sometimes you can't, but we can get around that. Here is our folded leaf and the center line. And I've put a little V in for at the base. Then I look at the leaf and determine points of interest. Maybe we'll just go with the highest point. Might be there, but the front blade is a little bit lower than the back one. So I could do it like that. And therefore my V would look like that. This one relates to the front blade and the back one to the rear blade. And then we have a little tip on the end. And now all I need to do is connect these lines, whoops, there, and this one down there. And there is our folded leaf. And remember the continuous line, which is this. And there's the fold. And this is the underside of the leaf. That's the principle of the V method. Now let's do one just a little bit more interesting. My little V shape at the base will now cover both sides of the center line compared to the first leaf. Now the V will go to the left and the right. This will mean that the first part of the leaf isn't as folded. You can see the base of it. Then in the middle we have a tall skinny V, which means that the leaf will be more folded. And at the end we'll have a little arrowhead. Now we can join these lines together, and this is what we get. Slightly open leaf at the start, and then it folds up, and then it's a point. We can see the center vein, and then we can see the underside of the leaf, which we've shaded in, and the vein beneath it. Again, the whole border of the leaf is one continuous line. Now for the next one. The first two leaves were folded along the middle of the leaf. This one will have an extra little curl or fold, you could call it, to the front blade, the one closest to us. Folds are not part of the leaf's border. The V indicates a steep V for that side and a bit of a curl. All good so far? But watch what happens. Oops! I went right over the blue fold line, which is precisely what not to do, because the fold line is not part of the leaf's border. This is why it's a really good idea to work with two colours. Just makes it so much easier. This is part of the border, and that's the fold underneath. So I've got to pay more attention. What if we did another one where we're looking at the leaf through it? So it'll start off with a V and it'll end with a V that we can see right through. So really all it is this. But what I find, if I do this little trick and just give it a little loop up there, it looks far more convincing. Don't you think? There we go. I'm using an 8B graphite stick and it's rather soft, and so I'm smudging the paper with my hands. But on the good note, at least you can see it. Now, even though folded leaves are more rigid and less likely to curl, I just saw in the garden the lemon tree leaves and they were folded and curled, so I think we should just go for it. There is a bit of a C curve, which indicates that the leaf will curl. It also means that we're going to have to cross over. With these ones, we didn't have to cross the center line because they're not curled. Here, this part is curled and it goes over. Okay, so now I'm going to show you an example where we're going to start the V above the center line. Then I'm going to make a V in the middle where it's still all folded, and then it's going to unfold at the end. These are guidelines, just to make sure that we stay either above or below the center line. Start here, go up, cross over, and now I am going to go up. Well, this one ended up like this. And do another one. Going to do one like this. There, there, and there. Now, I didn't really have to erase this one. I don't know why I decided to do that. But anyway, here I go again. It's going to start above the leaf and then it's going to open wide and come in thin. So now I'm going to start with this one and there. So what happens here is up here this is all folded in and this is curled. And we can have some shadow in there. And here we might as well put in one that goes like this. We have a big V here and this is going to be the point, and it can go like that. Chances are you wouldn't see the any of the stem, so I've just moved that. So remember, these are not designed to be, the end structure of your leaf. They are more designed to help you keep on track, as in knowing which direction you need to go in. And now I'm going to transfer this to my watercolour paper and then we can paint it. I've transferred my sketch onto some Arches watercolour paper, 300 GSM cold press paper, and I'm ready to go. Today I'm going to paint the underside of the leaves a lighter colour, and I'll be using buff titanium for that. And for the green I'll use a bit of Prussian blue with a bit of raw sienna light. And I'm using my 1/4 inch dagger striper by S&S Tollmaster. I'm using the buff titanium all over the first 2 leaves. This is the bottom part of the leaf, just in there. But I won't do them all the same. On this one, I might leave a little white border and go for some Prussian blue and some raw sienna. Makes a really nice green colour. I'm going to come around here and leave a little white border. I really love the dagger brush because it gives me the precision that I like and control. It's easier to paint with than a fine small brush. That's what I find. And then I'm thinking I might get some buff titanium and add a little bit of this to it And just come in under this little bit here to create a bit of a shadow. With my dagger brush, I've washed it and wiped it. I can even pull out a little bit of a highlight like that. This top part can be a little bit highlighted. Maybe even a few little droplets of water. I'd like to paint them all a little bit different, so this is all combinations of the three colours, and let's just do something like that on that one. The dagger brush gives you so many strokes that just paint themselves. This is the underside. I might expose the vein a little bit more on this one. You can also use it like this. And I might make a little dark border on this side. And maybe for the top one, and for the last one, this is the underside. And with this one, I'm going to leave the vein, but now I'm going to get a tissue and just gently dab it once, and it also creates a beautiful texture. And give it a little bit of shadow under there. I'm adding a tiny little bit of neutral tint just to get a few darker bits happening, like there. And there. I hope you've enjoyed these V folded leaves. If you'd like to brush up on your curls, see this video up here and let me know which of these folded leaves was your favourite today. Or even make up your own, because you know how to do it now. Remember, plan the base, the height and the spread of the fold with some V's and the tip. Join them up and see what you get. You should be able to run around the border, even if it's hidden, but you can do this. Let me know what you'd like to do next, and also we have rose petals coming up very soon.